This is our lunch.
Okay, let me take a quick photo.
Everybody. So we're finished our lunch. What did you think of lunch?
So lunch was included with the trip today, and unfortunately we have been spoilt rotten by the Baraba Bowling Club Chinese.
That's right, after having that Chinese.
Yes, so it was okay, but didn't come up to standards of the Baraba Bowling Club.
However, after lunch, we went to a little fruit stand. Can you pull them out? And we had strawberry. We bought these strawberries. Can you open them up?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
I
gonna have
don't know if
another one.
I don't know if the people at home can smell them, but there you go.
They were the most. Open again.
Smell?
They open it so we can see
Hello,
them.
my
No,
honey. Hello, my baby.
please. Annie, ignore him. They are the most beautiful strawberries I think I've had.
Very
in-
tasty.
Oh, in about 40 years. Absolutely beautiful.
And to top it off, we got sweet pineapple.
Okay.
These little kids are gorgeous.
They're all dressed up.
She's being told off.
Oh, and you kiss
Well, we're doing the crawl again. We're doing the crawl again. Well, we're moving faster than yesterday, but
Yeah, we are actually moving.
yeah, we're actually moving. It's been like this for about the last half hour. So we're heading to the China. Oh, look at the gardens there.
Beautiful gardens in there. Yeah. All manicured.
Beautiful.
Everything's trimmed up.
Oh, oh, look at the heart.
How can we do it? You can slide
These are very gothic looking.
Yeah, it could be from Batman.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Aren't they cool looking?
Yeah.
Was it Commissioner Gordon? Is that who was in Batman?
Really want to be seen outside and there's the other side of that black one.
There's the tallest building.
Sorry, my
That's
hands in
okay.
your phone.
I've got. There's the tallest finger in Beijing. Oh, I keep missing it. The tallest building in Beijing. You can just
It's
see the tip of
invisible.
it there.
The invisible tall building.
But from the distance, it just towered over everything else.
Massive.
This is very pretty. There's planter boxes all along here. And heaps of roses.
But I mean, it's so good to have a garden.
There looks like a space coming up here. You might get a picture shot of the
Look at those roses.
gorgeous, aren't they? Lots of different colors. I like the tree. It looks like a wattle with the
Yeah.
yellow. Look at these roses. Look how full they are.
Yeah, they're prolific, aren't they?
Oh. There's a space here. You might get a shot of the. There you go.
Oh, there we go. There's the tower.
Yeah. Oh, and that one with the hole.
Oh, look at them.
They're all different, aren't they?
네.
Very unusual.
Wow. Squishy, squishy.
That office, if you a stranger person want to go in, you have to request, and then they allow you to go. Other than you can go in free.
108 floors.
Up ground is 108 floor. Underground 7 floor. From 2017, they spent about 5 years to construct that building. Yeah, just during the COVID time, this building started using.
And we're still crawling along in traffic. So how long do you figure we've been now?
Well, we're closing in on our hour and a half.
Hmm. You've heard the term concrete jungle?
Yes.
Wouldn't you like to have just 1 penny for every ton of concrete in Beijing? Well, I totally believe when Leo said there's 22 million people in Beijing, because I just think I've just seen all their apartments. It's almost creepy looking, isn't it?
Makes you want to move here.
Oh yeah, in a flash. And it's the same on that side. Same, yeah, but not different. So, in there is where we'll be going eventually to the theater, but we have roughly an hour to go and explore and shop around. So we're heading to the 7-Eleven to look and see if we can find soda water.
Yes, we've been let off our lead.
Yep,
We've
we're
got
free.
to meet up at 5 o'clock to get our ticket for the show at 5:30.
Yep. So, it's all happening here. We go over there for this show that's supposed to be fantastic. So he's settling in there. Pretty neat theater. Wow, do we have good seats? Not bad. Oh, there it is.
ഒരു സീറ്റാ
real peacock. It's a real peacock on the top.
终于要开始了，小公主将正式成为部落的女王。谁知继位大典上，逾越族的刺客悄悄赶到，要刺杀小王子。千钧一发之际，女王救下。 族部落那篡位的邪恶束缚。此时，邪恶束缚正在用百姓的灵魂锻造一把通天。小王子带领金甲战士们从天。 番奋战后，终于打败了叔父。可是，邪恶的叔父临死前，居然化身为滔天洪水，想要将天地吞没。世界已经危在旦夕，女王决定将自己献祭，用自己的生命点亮纪念烛，唤醒传说中的太阳神力，来阻止洪水。 重建家园，开启了一个全新的金面王朝。
room. We've just had our two lovely little Chinese ladies come in and give us a massage.
Yes. Shoutan.
Shotan and Siyang or something like that.
Shoutan. Show your tan.
Yeah,
Shoutan.
the massage was somewhat like the Chinese Thai pressure point massage.
Yeah, yeah, and they did the finger stuff, that sort of thing. The pummel.
Then they did a weird thing with they got a plastic bag and put some
Don't tell them that part.
some brown stuff in it with hot water, and we had to soak our feet in this plastic bag, and it was Chinese
herbal
medicine
something
to
or
make
other,
you
yes.
relax and get rid of stress.
Charna relaxed to the point where she was snoring.
I never snore. Anyway, moving
The two girls were chuckling.
moving right along. We went to that, as you've just seen, that musical. I don't know what you would call it. It was fantastic.
Brilliant. It
Yeah.
was like China's version of Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, just stunning. We've had a brilliant day starting out at the Jade Factory. I told Neil not to worry when we first went in there because we were supposed to go to a pearl factory. And that would have been a concern because I would have wanted pearls, but I'm not a jade fan, so don't worry about it.
We were safe there, guys.
Yes, we were safe. Anyway,
Not.
really stoked with what we got, though. The magical dragons and the ball.
Magical dragons? Yeah, I guess they're magical.
I think
the
they're-
money dragons.
Money dragons, yeah.
But that's magical.
It's going to be magical. It's going to bring us wealth. And so now we're just relaxing in front of the telly.
And we got the ball that went between the two for harmony with your family and success and finances with your family and blah blah blah. Got that, and then we got the bus to the Great Wall.
The Great Wall was brilliant.
Oh yeah, just I had that feeling that I get when I'm in places that are recognized around the world, and I keep referring back to the first time I drove across the Sydney Harbour Bridge because almost everybody in the Western world, at least, recognize that and know it's Sydney. And so here you are on the Chinese Wall, and again, similar sort of a feeling. So yeah, it was very, very special. And my dad, who traveled the world through mostly National Geographic, knew so much about the wall through that. And so here I am, standing there. It was a really, really special moment.
And what was I going to say? It's gone.
Great Wall.
No, the Belvedere vodka.
Yeah, well, that came after we went to lunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's already all on
already
the
on there.
It's already on
So
the video.
so we tried old mate's Belvedere vodka because he said we were drinking what was the 64 Holden or something like that versus a BMW M5, and it's very smooth. It is very nice, and it's probably just ruined me.
Yeah, well, forget it because we got it for $70 a bottle, and that was duty free.
Yeah.
So it's not. I think it was 100 and some. I forget.
And we got a discount because of, well, you've seen it anyway.
Yeah, because of our t-shirts.
Yeah.
Anyway, bedtime.
Well, it is because we're shifting tomorrow. So we've got to be all ready to go rock and roll and onto the bus at 8:15.
Oh, and the little Chinese masseuse said Xi'an is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah,
So
so
looking
okay.
forward to it.
Catch up later.
Bye.